Okay, let's go ahead and get this started here. So that song just now was Ready by Anthony Francis Kagwin Monkman from the production music album Futurama. So, all right, hold on. I'm just sorting things out. So today, I'm not going to be yicking, unfortunately. As much as I want to see what Surreal and her fairy friends are up to, I've decided that I will take a momentary break from yicking, and I'm going to play a game that I think is really interesting, but nobody seems to talk about or post about or even know about, called Everblue 2. It's been a while since I've done anything other than yick. So, yeah. Oh. Hate Yoshi, and I never want to see Anna from Earthbound in a tuxedo again. And most importantly, I hate yick. That's not true, Honey Castle Pro. A report account for impersonation. Okay, good. I didn't actually do that. So hello Peacock 486, welcome, welcome. So yeah, we're gonna be taking a look at a PlayStation 2 game called Everblue 2. Now you might be wondering, why are we playing Everblue 2 instead of Everblue 1? Since obviously there being a 2 in the title of this game would imply that there is a game from before the game. And that's true, there is an Everblue 1, just called Everblue, but it was only released in Japan and PAL regions. So there is, meaning there is an English version of it. But unfortunately, it doesn't emulate very well. I don't know about the JP version, but I also can't read Japanese good enough to really get much story out of that. I have managed to like play enough of Everblue 1 to get the most of the story. But it's I kind of gave up on it. The emulation has some glitchiness. It has some graphics issues. You basically have to blur the hell out of the graphics. At least with my Super PlayStation 2, which can play all the PlayStation 2 games of any region, as you know. But yeah, for whatever reason, Everblue 1 it just does not emulate very well on the Super PlayStation, and yeah, I'll talk more about from what I played of that game in a moment, and by a moment I mean after I show you Everblue 2, which I've played completely, and I've played it completely twice, because I own this game. So I've played it on a regular PlayStation 2, and I've played it on the patented Super PlayStation 2. That's how much I like this game. So let's... Okay. Hopefully I have the windows already set. One of many countless... wait, hold on. Let me look at the... It got old real fast. It's definitely one of those games you have to have the mindset for. Not everyone's gonna like it, and yeah, it's a very niche. One of those PS2 games nobody knows. Yeah, countless obscure Japanese PS2 games. Yeah, this particular Everblue 2, and Everblue 1, from what I understand, got mostly middling reviews, but Everblue 2, in my opinion, is really good. But it also came out at a time in which it's not a conventional, you know, like shoot or action or whatever. It's a diving sim. That's not really much of a sim, but we'll see. Let me start the game. Now the game capture should come up, and I also should get rid of these other stream elements. So it's made by Arika. Arika made the Endless Ocean series, which I played on the Wii and didn't play this game until much later after I found out about it. And this is the little nice opening cutscene. So yeah, this game is a precursor made by the same devs, Arika. It's a precursor to a game series on the Wii that has niche appeal called Endless Ocean. And I played the absolute hell out of those games. Endless Ocean 1 and 2. It's... Yeah, those games were my childhood. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of interesting, I think. A little bit of a hung up there. Moog synth here. So let me get... There we go. Luke's there. Excuse me, how I know, yeah. Yeah, you would know, you would know. So yeah. Let's load game. Okay, so I've already beaten this game. Like I said, I've beaten it twice, both on actual hardware and on super hardware. But just for the sake of sort of introducing this game, we're also not going to be playing it. I just want to show it off because there's a lot of interesting stuff. I think. So I think Arika also did Tetris TGM. Yeah, they did. Arika has worked with various companies, including Nintendo, and has produced or helped produce a lot of games, including the Tekken series, a lot of fighting games. They made the latest Tetris thingy. They've done a lot. They also recently released Endless Ocean Luminous for the Switch, which is a game, the first game in the Endless Ocean series since the Wii era. And I'll also probably talk about my opinions on that. But first, let's go ahead and let's just start a new game, actually, so I can show you this. August 2002. Nearly a year has passed since the adventures on Daedalus Island. They're talking about the previous game in the series. Leonardo Delfino and his partner Zuko sail to the Caribbean in a search of a mysterious treasure, an ancient stone marker buried on the seafloor, slumbering in wait for somebody to discover it. Just as the two began their search, however, their boat, Falco 2, is beset by a tremendous storm. As if unsatisfied with mercilessly smashing their boat, the angry sea sweeps Zuko away as well, leaving their equipment behind. Leo rescues his friend. Two somehow manage to swim to a nearby island. The small island is called Valentinier. It's a beautiful Caribbean island with a population of 24,000. Unbeknownst to Leo, an unforgettable adventure awaits his arrival there. God, I had to read that fast. So that's the story. Long time no see, Leo. Finally out of the hospital. Sorry to keep you waiting. You know, I can't believe a little injury like that knocked me out for 3 whole days. Must be getting old. We have yes and yes. I'm glad you look better. Come on now, you're embarrassing me, but thanks. After all, you did rescue me from the water when I blacked out on the Falco 2. Yes and yes. Okay. No, I've got to say something. You risked your life to save me during this storm. All because of your equipment's trashed. All your equipment's trashed because of me, right? I'm sorry about that. But I guess we shouldn't let this get us down. It's not like us. Leo, let's fix up the Falco 2 and find those stone markers. It'll be our big comeback. What do you say? Yes and yes. What is this, Fallout 4? I knew I could count on you. Just leave everything to me. I won't mess up again. Anyway, maybe it's a sign that I'm still young. I can't believe I was so focused on searching for the stone markers I didn't know the storm was coming. Now I'm getting excited. Find those stone markers your dad, Alberto, always talked about. This looks very PS1, even though, yeah, you'll soon find out. This game, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if they did it for optimization purposes, but this game feels like a PS1 game that was sort of upscaled and ported to the PlayStation 2. Like there's, you'll see. Falco is the blue version. Yeah, he prefers the air. But yeah, so this is Zuko. He's old or something. He was in the previous game too. And this is Energetic Girl. She has a name, we'll find out. I came because I heard about a big accident some divers had. Was that you guys? Yeah. We were so busy searching for some stone markers, we didn't see the storm coming. Stone markers, never heard of those. But then there's a whole lot out there in the sea. Anyway, you mean to tell me that you and that old man went diving in that beat-up gear? No wonder you had an accident. Speaking as someone who really loves the ocean, I think you underestimate the sea. Let's just hope you learned your lesson this time. Wow, you're taking this well. I really like guys who have their heads on straight. Every year I see overconfident divers push their limits and hurt themselves. Or worse. I like Valentina Island very much. That's why I don't want anything bad to happen here on this island. Know what I mean? Yeah. Glad you're listening, but I hope you really understand. Can't be helped. Come on, let me teach you how to dive. There's a lot of early PS2 games that are very obviously made by people who are using who are used to make the PS1 games. Take you to the diving area. Now just wait a minute. You mean a little girl like you is going to teach Leo how to dive? Why not? And would you quit calling me little girl? My name is Ellis Lindell. I'm a member of the Amigos. Amigos? But I didn't know you were this much of a beginner. The Amigos are a group of young people who love the ocean. Mainly help people in trouble and give dive instructions to beginners. Pretty impressive for a kid. The ocean is for everybody. So you're free to dive, but we won't sit back and stay quiet if you don't behave. Okay. Yeah, so we'll do the dive tutorial and we'll see the characters here, and then afterwards I'll switch over to the full save file and we can start actually looking at what this game has. First things first, I recommend that you save before and after your dive. Feel reckless, go ahead and dive without saving, you'll see what happens. Anyways, just give me a yell when you get ready. I'm ready. Also, I hope this isn't too loud. I did check the audio levels. Hey, can you hear me? It's me, Ellis. Yes and yes. Reception seems to be okay. I think you already know, but I'll tell you anyway. Yeah. We're just gonna kinda skip through what she's saying. So this is the main thing this game is about. So the game that comes after this, the successor to Everblue, has a lot of focus put on discovering sea creatures, the ecology of the ocean, that kind of stuff. Well, before that, in Everblue 1 and 2, the main focus of these games is salvaging, which is still in the Endless Ocean games, but it's not as much of a focus. It's more of a focus in Endless Ocean 2, where they have a whole character whose bit is that he does salvaging and stuff. But here, the fish and all the set dressings are kind of just that, set dressings. It's really mostly just about finding shit in the ocean and then selling it for big profit. So yeah, I know. So this is what a lot of the gameplay looks like. You might be thinking, why not just swim down, or let's see if we can swim up. We don't have that luxury. At least when you're out in the ocean in this game, exploring the reefs and whatnot, you're stuck kind of right at this level. and the camera is always angled down like this, and it's very PS1 core for a PS2 game. And a lot of the game involves just spamming the sonar button until you get a ping. And you just follow it until you get this. This is a dog tag. I'm gonna place it in our bag. We can't swim up or down. Crazy. This was only 2002. Yeah, it's trying to think. When did... So, we played a game a while back called, Boku no Natsuyasumi 2. And that game had a more robust, diving system. And that was also a PlayStation 2 game. I don't know if Boku no Natsuyasumi 2, came out before or after this game. And also the diving there was third person instead of first. But yeah, it's comparing graphics wise, I think this is more detailed than the underwater in Boku no Natsuyasumi, but it's a little limited. Yes, I found something. So yeah, and then the difficulty of this game... Oh, hello, incorrect vortex. I'm going to ban you because you're obviously a bot. Uh-huh. View bot advertising. Cool. Should ban him for hating Yoshi. I should have banned him for hate speech. This could probably actually be done on the PS2 given what's happening here. Yeah, definitely. You know, or sorry, PS1. You know, speaking of PS1, there is a PS1 game that does something almost exactly like this. And it's called Aquanaut's Holiday, and it's also a diving sim with game that has a focus on salvaging. And I haven't seen a whole lot of that game, but it kind of functions pretty similar to what we're seeing here from the little bits of footage I've seen. I haven't played Aquanaut's Holiday, and there is actually a sequel to Aquanaut's Holiday on the PlayStation 3 of all things. And I want to play that someday because it is much more like Endless Ocean, and I fucking love Endless Ocean. So that's a clown res. Oh. Okay. It's over here somewhere. Almost. There we go. Screw. So a large part of the difficulty in this game is managing your oxygen, especially at early stages of the game, and managing your HP. Yes, there's a HP bar. Because there is combat, quote unquote, in this game. But it's not like traditional combat. It's just like... Yeah, and if we can't even like take this because we now are at our weight limit. So managing our weight is another thing. And our weight is our weight corresponds to the HP. So let's hold on. So notice how our HP is dropping really fast. It's because we've exceeded our weight limit. And so if we just continued to salvage stuff and pretended like we don't have a weight limit, we would die and get a game over. How are you going to see eels if you can't go up or down? Because there's like eels who are hiding on the seafloor in some places, and also there is special locations that we can go to that allow us to go up and down, and I'll show you those as soon as I ascend and we continue this little bit of the story here. I don't know what they mean. Yeah, sure. Wow. I believe you're beginner, you seem to have what it takes to be a diver. Keep this up and you'll be a master diver in no time. Yes. So yeah, navigating in this game is as simple as clicking the arrow. It's the center of Valentiner Island. See the place with the stairs towards the back on the right? The first floor is the appraisal office. They can appraise it and identify items and also open locked boxes for you. You know how you can't tell what an item is when you first pick it up? That's because you need to have it appraised. So here's some of the characters. We have Mariachi. She goes no way to live. That item you're holding, wonder what it is. Old man. Name of this island, Valentiner, is derived from the Spanish word for bravery. Greenery is starting to disappear with all the new development. It really used to be incredibly lush around here. Yeah. Praise. So, appraising costs money. However, it's also kind of a gamble because once you appraise an item, you can sell it. So if you appraise it for a fee and it ends up being more than the fee you appraised for it in terms of value, you can make it back really quick. Appears to be dog tags. Appears to be coachable. Appears to be CD-ROM. No, appraisal costs money, but you should always do it. I know. And then you can sell it at the shop upstairs. Hotel makes games go fast, or days go faster, because you do have to like sleep or whatever. So we can sell these now. And now we have a little more money than what we started with. Oh, there's more people here. Let's talk to old lady. The amigos. Ah, those idiots. Pretentious bunch of kids. This way to enjoy the sea is by fishing. Everyone knows that. Grumble. Limited blue swimsuit. Quiet sea, the sky and the clouds. It's no wonder why divers really love this place. Looks like surfers don't like it though. It's too quiet for a place for them. Okay. But she likes you, Leo. You're the hottest guy from Day Dallas. Aw, no way. Whatever you say. Anyway, it looks like a good idea to make friends with that girl. To the hotel. Okay, let's go to the hotel. Yeah, stay. Sup like a baby. HP and air refill. So note that this does not save your game. Sleeping at the hotel is not the same as saving. You have to do it in the menu. Good morning, Leo. Nice day today, isn't it? Hey, are you free? I want you to come with me for a minute. Is this a date? What are you talking about? Oh, there isn't any kind of misunderstanding here. I'll start acting cool just because you're getting a little better at diving. Anyways, if you want to talk like that, stow it until you're a better diver than I am. Looks like an editor from Divers Monthly is in the old market. You know, Divers Monthly is the hottest diving-related magazine in the world, right? So there is magazines in Endless Ocean series that you can send photos to for a chance to be featured, those photos to be featured. And also get money that way in the games. But I don't remember if Divers Monthly is what the name of that publication is called. It's been too many years since I've played them. This is our big chance. If we sell ourselves well, the amigos could be famous. Not an amigo. Of course you are. Don't ever go around telling anyone you are either. If people start thinking the amigos are all beginners, then there's no way we'll get famous. So this is the old market. It's the liveliest place on the Valentinier Island, is the old market. Is that woman with the camera the editor for Divers Monthly? Hey Leo, let's go talk to her. What's up? Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lynn Lure. I'm an editor for the magazine. Nope. I think she might be from the previous game, but I honestly don't remember much of playing Everblue, aside from negative experiences. The reason I'm here is to get some underwater photos for next month's cover, but my cameraman went and got sick all of a sudden. So this is the second thing that this game does. So it's not like the fish are completely just set dressing. You are encouraged to take photos of them. Hey Leo, don't you think our meeting like this is no coincidence? Excuse me, but May button. Your girl, would that happen to be your girlfriend? No, I'm not. He's sort of like a friend of mine. I just met this fucking person yesterday. We've made a diving club called the Amigos together, right, Leo? No? Yes, in a negative tense, and yes, in a passive tense. So Leo's already gone and found his own diving club. Okay, this is a big scoop. Get us, you want us to shoot photo of your cover shot? Yeah. This is so cool. Sure it's enough, right, Leo? Sure, whatever. Some beautiful coral. I've got it. So photographing stuff is the other thing you do. And you also, when photographing fish, you will unlock their entries in the marine guide when we get that. So we have various things here. We have gear shop where you buy new gear. We have drug stand where you buy drug. We have combiner and this. There's crafting in this game. And this is the crafting dude. And this is where you get your photos developed. This guy's a poet. Looking for coral? Just listen to my poem. Oh, beautiful orange coral guided by a path of white. What are you thinking down there? Pretty good poem, huh? Not really. Hard to believe, but I haven't seen that coral myself yet. So we have various characters. Also have this cat. It's a cat. He's taking a nap here. The cat's name is Paco. Looks like he loves hanging out on the roof at the drug shop. Gets a lot of sunshine up there. It looks like he's feeling really good. So basically, At this point in the game, you're just, as the days go by, they introduce you to more mechanics and stuff. You get, you go to places and things. And you'll eventually be able to select a location. They'll fix up the Falco too, and you'll get to select a location around the island. You could just like drop off here or here, what have you. But we're not gonna be really doing the story here because I just kind of want to show off the other stuff. So let's see, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, here we go. So we're just gonna do this, we're just gonna reset. And that should boot us back into the save selection, and we can go to the fully completed save. Yes. So this is what the end game looks like. You get a lot more NPCs. Got all these people. We get an area over here. There's like a pirate and stuff. There's just a bunch of NPCs. A bunch of NPCs over here. This is the guy who gives us the marine thingy, bobber, the marine guide, which we'll take a look at. I forget whomst some of these characters are. This guy will gives us a quest. So there's a lot of these characters have stuff that they will accept from salvages and whatnot. Like for example, if you salvage instruments, this guy, green-haired Marco, he'll accept any instruments you manage to salvage, and when he gets like all of them, he'll give you a shell. And so basically the quest for a lot of these NPCs is they want a specific type of item that you can salvage, and you'll get their shell. And it's basically a quest completion marker. So a lot of these you get from certain story beats from like the main characters here. Like you'll get Alice's shell from following the story and recovering the artifact that you're after, called the Erebos. And you'll get Zuko's shell just for fixing the boat. And these are all just... I like how some of these characters don't really have names. I mean, they do, but like, they only have names once you get their shell. Like, woman in blue swimsuit, her name is Hellas Crypti, and you only find that out once you get the shell. So, yeah. Anyways, let's actually do a little more gaming. Also, these guys are also members of the Amigos, this club that Alice just decides to start the moment she encounters Leo. So all of these X's here on this map, which is quite a lot, are all points of interests. So in the first big location that isn't just straight up like swimming around is that X. So this is the Pesolata. We're going to park right next to it. And this is when the gameplay goes from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, kind of. Hold on, let me figure out which way I'm pointing. Okay. Also, we're really fast now because I have like all the in-game gear. Okay, we're right next to it. So this is where the gameplay of this game gets kind of interesting. So this is the Pesolata. It's a sunken ferry. It has 3 floors. So we're going to enter here. Mejro. So as you can see, look at that. We're moving in 3 dimensions now. Which is pretty crazy. This is also where this game becomes anxiety simulator for me. And it just gets worse from here. The next location I'll show you is very anxiety inducing. But the Pesolata isn't that bad. So we have this drink machine here that we can literally pick up. We can only do this in-game once you get the largest bag size. Because previously you would not be able to stash an entire vending machine in your bag. And now we're playing a horror game, yeah. So, it's funny you say that, because, no, I don't want to exit. I recently saw a trailer for a underwater horror game. Like, that's not like Subnautica or whatever, where people try to say that Subnautica is a horror game, when really it's a survival game set underwater with horror-like elements in the form of, like, alien creatures and whatnot. But no, it was a underwater horror game, like, calling itself that, and it was called Dark Mass. And Dark Mass is, it looks like you're exploring a mansion that's underwater. So location-wise, I think that's really cool. But the mansion, it has like spooky skeletons in it, and it's haunted. And the trailer didn't really show much beyond inside of the mansion, which definitely looked properly dilapidated, much like this here, but like way better graphics. But there's like a zombie that they show in like the last couple seconds of the trailer of Dark Mass. And it just has no water physics applied to it at all. It just turns around like a zombie that's standing, you know, and not underwater, and then it like runs at the character, which like I'm not gonna pass judgment on whether or not I think Dark Mass is gonna be a good underwater horror game or a good horror game or anything like that, or whether or not I think it's gonna be a bad one. But I think the point of underwater horror is, you know, you expect things to move like they're underwater, but that zombie did not. But yeah. So yeah, this is the just came back. What's up? Okay, this is the Pesolata. This is the first ship slash wreck slash ruin you get to explore in the game, and it is a sunken ferry in the shallows near the island. And this is where this game, like I mentioned earlier, becomes anxiety simulator. It's not so bad here, but in the next location, there's some points where it's like, oh boy. And actually there's, oh, in the 3rd floor here, if we go down this elevator shaft, is frightening stuff. But here it's not so bad. So this is like the control room. This is like a locker room for the crew. We have a lobber here. We have an ornate lobber. We can take a photo of it. And these guys do actually like react and stuff. Look at them go. Also, we have these, by the way. So our sonar is our main tool for this game. Right now I have it set to, so these are all the attachments. So each attachment, and you can only have a certain amount of attachment since there's only a certain amount of sockets. We'll search for specific types of material. And we also have additional attachments called fish call and fish away. So fish call attracts fish towards you, which makes it easier to get photos of certain fish. And fish away is important for the combat mechanics of this game, which I don't think there's any... I don't think there's like any enemy fish at all in the Pesolata, but fucking hell. Oh, I hate it. So this is the second level of the Pesolata. It doesn't really have its own entryway here, so it doesn't show up on the map in the beginning. But there is a second level. And it's just more rooms and stuff. You get to see, like, metal grilly. We don't need... Well, actually... Yeah, sure, we can get metal grilly. I've appraised right near every item in this game, except for some items in the game's Hell Maze, which is the final area. Of course, the final area of the game would be a Hell Maze. So this is just more, you know, this is like the quarters that people, because this is a ferry, people would like hang out in this sort of area. And then if we go to floor 3, oh god. If we go to floor 3, if I can find the entry in here. No, this is floor 2. I forget how we get to floor 3. Floor 3 has cars and shit on it, and it's this big black void that's got cars in it. And it's so scary, dude. Trust me. We might have to enter. There's a way to enter in the 3rd floor as well. So we may just have to go back. Yeah, let's just exit, because I want to show you. The. No, not here. I want to show you the scary, in quotes, parts of the game. So we're just gonna go outside. What if you found a chicken while diving? It would be a diving chicken then. It'd be like wearing diving gear. So we're gonna enter from level 3. So this is the car deck. Holy shit. So this is the car deck. You might be wondering, why isn't there a black screen? Cause, oh god, it's so scary. Because this is a void in which there are cars down below, and we will go see the cars. Here's the cars. There's cars and trucks. Yeah, we can't salvage these, unfortunately. Well, actually, I think we can. There's like a certain, if we wear... Because I remember salvaging these. You can actually fucking salvage these, which is insane. You just stick them all in a bag somehow. Where's my bag? Where's my gear? This is the gear I have. You can't change a gear when you're on a dive, so you're kind of stuck with what you have. The ultimate bag, the power gloves. They're so bad. Got the Omni fins, the rebreather infinite, so it gives you infinite oxygen. So yeah, this is just where the cars are. It's very dark here. So that's cool. Let's see, can I don't think I can. I have to just inch my way back to the stairs. I don't think I can just return from a dive like that. Unless I can? I forget. Yeah, I don't have an option to ascend here. So you have to go back to an entrance or exit to leave these locations. So if you get lost, especially if you don't have an infinite rebreather, you're just kind of fucked. Okay, so that was that. So our next destination is the Balena, or the Balena, or whatever, however you pronounce that. That's the next big location to go to, and it's absolutely gargantuan. Let's see, how fast are we actually moving? We might be able to just go over there. It's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, it's taking us a while. Let's just ascend. I'm too grilly. Okay, take the boat out again. So if you're wondering about the story of this game and what these stupid stone markers that they kept emphasizing in the intro was all about, there's like an epic treasure that is called the Erebos, and I think Leo's dad was looking for it, and he finds it in the previous game, and then he dies or something. I don't know. I forget. I forget. He's dead though. He's dead. Anyways, there's this thing called the Erebos, and it's the big MacGuffin that everyone's after once they find out about it. And there's an evil. So you have the Amigos, who's the dive group. Just go to the Balena and start doing stuff here while I tell the epic tale of this game's story, at least from what I remember of it. Or the Balena. I don't know how to pronounce it. So basically the Amigos actually forms a little squad of friends who are into diving and stuff. But they're revealed that there is a rival dive friends group that's in it for profit and power, I guess, called Siege Ross. And Siege Ross are the baddies. They're trying to find the Erebos, and they get the Erebos. And then a storm happens. Seadras from Pokemon? No, Siege Ross. Siege Ross. With an O. And two S's. So they... Also, I like how the tile set for the floor here, they just kind of like... The tile set just looks like this. Like, this carpet doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would it end at the wall? Um, but yeah, they're the baddies. They go to a pirate ship that stole this artifact called the Erebos, and they steal the Erebos back, or something like that. I think it was in a pirate ship. I kind of forget. But the Erebos is actually an ancient artifact that controls like the currents of the ocean, and when it's upset, and not in the place that's supposed to be, which is in a giant maze-like ruin built by the ancients or whatever, the ocean starts to go sour and like it like kills people or something. I don't know. It's bad. And so while Cedros is Hey, I've seen this one. It's a classic, yeah. So while Cedros is transporting the Erebos in their submarine, it sinks, and then you have to retrieve the Erebos from their submarine, and basically, then afterwards you have to take the Erebos back to where it belongs, and it belongs in a the ancient ruin is called Somethingopolis, I forget. What's that? Just like a teacup? Fucking hell, dude. I like staring at the floor in this game because looking up is just too much. I'm actually gonna go the opposite direction because we're missing out on a major stress-inducing moment. It's not this way. So this right here, I think did I say what this even was? This is so the Balena is a sunken cruise ship. Let's place in bag. So look at this wonderful vista into the void. Holy shit. We have to go straight down. And now we're on the second level of the Balena. So the Balena is a pretty challenging location originally, because there's a lot of hallways that are blocked by those boxes. And earlier on in the game, before you have all the cool, great shit, you're stuck kind of having to go around them because you can't pick them up without taking a huge hit to your HP and your bag's weight limit. And it's also very maze-like here, to an almost upsetting degree, as I'm recalling. And there are some hostile creatures in this location. Not here, I don't think. That's just a storage room. But there are hostile creatures, and what they do is they come up to you, and then they attack you, and you lose HP, as you would expect. And I think the screen flashes red, which is upsetting if you're not expecting it. And the hostile creatures consist of sharks, of sea snakes, of viperfish, which is absolutely absurd because viperfish are tiny little fellas, but in this game they're about the size of moray eels. Okay, are we in this room? I think if we... What's our map looking, actually? Okay, we're about... We can exit. That crab scared me. We can exit in the area somewhere near here, I think, maybe. Yeah, here we go. We can exit from here. just descend. Whoa, cool. Okay. So that was the balena. So we also have the Edmund. That's the pirate ship. Rocky Reef is not interesting. Requiem Fort. I forget what this is. We can just go here. We could just go look at it, whatever it is. Oh, this is another. So the Rocky Reef is another maze. So there's like little caves slash mazes in a couple places. Oh yeah, there's also the AK-905. I think the Balena is the first big location to go to. I almost completely forgot about the AK-905. The second place we go to is the AK-905, which is a plane, and we'll go there too. But we could just go in here and just like... This is what the other gameplay, like finding MacGuffins and shit, looks like. Just to look forward, you have to keep nodding the camera, which is annoying. I wonder as to why, aside from limitations and the fact that the game was probably developed with the PlayStation 1 in mind initially, at least the first game was, and then they just kind of kept it up for the second game in the Everblue series. But I wonder why they couldn't just like let the player go up and down, like instead of keep them on a track like this. So yeah, this is just a fucking maze. It's boring as hell. Oh, and we can't ascend here. Shit. Let's try and go back the way we came. Probably lets game logic happen in 2D. Yeah, that's probably the case, because especially when you add in depth, like, the game just basically gets darker in areas and the floor sinks a little bit. So they didn't want the player moving, I guess, significantly up and down in areas that are supposed to be very deep in the ocean. Just so they don't have to like worry about all that rendering and shit. Okay, let's ascend. Yeah. So cool. So we're gonna go to the AK-905 first, and we can just park next to it so we can see what it looks like on the outside. I didn't park next to the Balena because it's dark. But we can park next to, when we go to this next, the Edmund, we can park next to it, and we can get attacked by frilled sharks that don't look like frilled sharks. Also, here's an ocean sunfish. Okay, and we're pointed the wrong way. Also, there's a dolphin! And a manta ray, that's so cool. So there is, like, sea creatures that are they're all over the place. But, you just have a very limited way of interacting with them. You can only really take photo. There is some interesting sea creatures. So these guys are enemies. If you touch them, you become damaged. and you get poisoned, and you start dying of poison. Even though, in actuality, I'm pretty sure moon jellyfish, which is what those fellas are, like, they don't damage you like that. And I forget, does the poison wear out after a time? Or do you just keep dying from it? You do have antidotes that you can take in the game. I think it might be Pokemon mechanics where you have to take like an antidote. So this is the airplane that crashed. We'll enter here. Whoa, dolphins! Luigi. It's the airplane. The airplane isn't that bad, thankfully. Thank God the airplane isn't that bad. And it's largely because it's very enclosed. And these are like the luxury guest rooms. And yeah, I think we're just gonna keep dying of poison until we go and like rest or whatever. So literally all of this shit is appraisable. Okay, no, the poison finally stopped, thankfully. And we can go in at a different level to see more of the plane. The only real anxiety-inducing portion of the plane is in the passenger area, which I think we can access. Yeah, or not passenger area, the cargo area. Passenger area a little bit, but cargo area is like a little more. It's just a whole bunch of fucking like cages and shit. And there used to be a lot of luggage in this area, but the luggage is one of the items that if you take it, it disappears from the overworld, if I recall. So a lot of these items will respawn when you reset the day, when you go to the hotel and you go to a new day. But luggages and other such items like a treasure chest and whatever, stuff that contains stuff, salvages that contain other materials, do not respawn. So we're just gonna ascend. Got fruit and flowers, which we already had. We can actually just go sell this stuff. Riza the ex-soldier. I'm gonna head off for now. I got some stuff to take care of. Yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, I guess I should mention there are some weird characters amongst these weirdos. You have green-haired Marco. We have this muscle woman named Iron Natalie. We already talked about the weird poet guy. But there's also JJ, who is some kind of gender. I don't know much about this character. But I think they're like some kind of bizarre, probably offensive stereotype. They wear a bikini and talk about how like super like how they're the prettiest thing ever. And they also ask about art, which we've already given. I've already given them literally all of the art ever. But yeah, there's some kind of offensive stereotype. This guy is a member of Siege Ross, the bad guys. Already talked about Seashell Guy. Lala, what a name, by the way. Lala, she wants stuff from the Hell Maze, that's the end game area. And I'm probably never gonna complete her quest because of that. Because that end game area is quite something. Roberto wants old weapons. That's his quest. That guy's a bit. Oh yeah! Oh, I never realized that. Holy shit! Roberto's about to blow Lala's head off, dude. You don't point that. Well, actually, let's follow. It's kind of. It looks like he's just kind of pointing it at the side of the building, so it's not really pointing it at old Havan, the old man, or her. But still, that's like, there's two people who could potentially be in the line of fire here. That's not safe. Also, this guy's the rival, Elian. He's a rival to Leo, and he worked for Cedros until he stopped, or whatever. And he like challenges you to like these dive, swim, race course things. This is the gear shop. And oh, this is the forgot about this place too. This place is actually very important. The Grand Sea Palace, so this is the courtyard of the Grand Sea Palace. This is where all the ritzy folks live. And then there's the auction house. This is incredibly important to get in-game gear. You have to get it. A lot of the in-game gear that you will need to complete the rest of the game has to be gotten through auctions. And it can be so frustrating and difficult sometimes that I actually had to find a guide on how to, like, what's the best strategy to, like, win the auctions and shit. Because it's very chance-based on whether or not the gear that you're looking for is even being offered at the auction house. And on top of that, winning can be difficult too. But thankfully, as small and as unknown as this game is, there is actually a GameFAQs walkthrough of it. I have it pulled up here so I can talk about it and also credit it. It's the Everblue 2 strategy guide written by Kai Sharku in the year 2004. And it basically does an entire walkthrough of the whole game, tells you everything you'd ever need to know about it. It was super duper useful for this portion of the game, winning the auctions and stuff. But it's also very, very useful for dealing with the endgame's Hell Maze. Also, there's a parrot here. All these colorful characters, we don't have to worry about these guys. You can just exit. Oh yeah, there's also the Marine Guide. So like I said, this game isn't really focused on the ecology or the sea life very much, but the sea life are still they're an important part of the game. Without them, the world would feel dead and lifeless. So we have basically each and every one of these is an entry in the Marine Dex, and you get a little photo of them. And they're exactly what you'd expect. They're rated based on rarity. We have There's some interesting inaccuracies though amongst these fish, such as butterfly fish 2, which is not what this is called. Pretty sure, if I remember correctly, at least from Endless Ocean, this is called a teardrop butterfly fish, not butterfly fish 2. Or four-eyed butterfly fish, as it states here. But if I wanna, I'm pretty sure in Endless Ocean it's referred to as a teardrop butterfly fish. My memory may be faulty though, because like I said, it's been a while since I've played that game. And a lot of these fish models, I think, would later be reused for Endless Ocean. Fish inaccuracy in the Magic Pokemon plug. Yeah, stunning, I know. Considering the type of quality we're dealing with, you'd expect these fish to be, like, you know, photorealistic. Shaking my head, yeah. So yeah, there is some inaccuracies, some of which are quite interesting. Also, all of these guys, all of these fish in this game, except for maybe like one or two that I can think of, well, one or two, actually more than one or two, most of these fish appear in the Endless Ocean games. This dude appears, it's called a Mola Mola here, but it's renamed as Sunfish in Endless Ocean, the English version. However, Scallop does not appear. Who else doesn't appear? Giant Clam appears, but it's not, you can't scan it, it's just an object in the world of Endless Ocean. No different to the coral and stuff. So it becomes, it gets demoted. Giant Clam gets demoted to set dressing. Same with Sea Star, and I think Scallops do appear in Endless Ocean, but once again, they're set dressing. You can't scan them, you can't poke them, you can't pet them, you can't learn anything about them, which is a bit sad. These guys, on the other hand, they're plentiful, especially in Endless Ocean 2. There's a lot of variations of Sea Slug. I don't think Hypsilodoris festiva specifically, I don't remember this blue sea slug appearing in Endless Ocean 2, but I know that a lot of slugs were there. Now on to some interesting inaccuracies. This is a sea pig. It's a pale brown color. A lot of photos of sea pigs kind of look like this, but the actual animal itself is kind of a pinkish white color from everything I've seen. So I think they just went off of photos when they modeled this, which, to be fair, they were modeling this, a lot of these, especially deeper sea creatures that most of the inaccuracies are associated with, at a time when they probably didn't have a whole lot of material to go off of. But that's the first, aside from Butterfly Fish 2, that's the first kind of questionable one. Also, this guy is known as a monkfish in Endless Ocean games, but here it's called a goosefish, which is another name for it. So cuttlefish, octopus. These guys look almost exactly like how they look in the Endless Ocean games, just with a much higher resolution texture. Or maybe not even that much higher resolution, but they look very similar, so I think they got... These guys' models at the very least got reused in those games. Abalone, another thing that doesn't really appear. So this is a viperfish. You might be thinking, no, that's not. It's not a viperfish. Well, in this game it is. And it looks astonishingly inaccurate to how viperfish actually look. They're also quite large. And we can even see these guys soon. This is a gulper shark. They also look incredibly inaccurate. Um, these things are also called frilled sharks. In fact, they're called frilled sharks in Endless Ocean. But here it's like a weird. It's got the head of a gulper shark or a frilled shark, but its body is like a weird mako shark nightmare hybrid. Like, the body of this creature does not look anything like the actual body of a real frilled shark. And I think it's probably because of photo or lack of photos they could go off of. But still, it's very inaccurate. Especially compared to the Endless Ocean version of this creature, which does look like a frilled shark. And then we have entirely fabricated fish. So there is 2 fish in this game that do not exist and that are Arika's fish OCs. Hammerhead Ray, which is a bizarre ray that has a hammerhead-like head. And then we have the footfish, which is like a sea robin anglerfish hybrid. And it's just, it looks great. Velvet fish, also known as a lumpsucker. Coelacanth, seahorse. What you'd expect. Ogrefish, which is also known as like a fanged something. I forget. I forget. Also have a glass sea slug, also known as a sea angel, which also doesn't look quite accurate to how sea angels look, but they later rectified this once again in the Endless Ocean games, specifically Endless Ocean 2. So lionfish, moray eel, ribbonfish, also known as an oarfish, Nassau grouper, manta ray, queen angelfish. Yeah, so those are the fishes. The most interesting of the fishes. I didn't show all of them, but you know, the most interesting of them. So let's do some more exploring. So there's another maze over here. There's basically 3 mazes in this game. Not counting the final maze. Telospolis. Let's go to the Edmund. We can park right outside the Edmund and enjoy the scenery. Maybe we'll get lucky and get attacked by the sharks that hang out there. So this is what the deep ocean looks like in the overworld. Also, a handy thing to position yourself on the map, you can just click. So if you want to position yourself a little bit easier towards a goal, you can do that. So let's avoid running into those guys. So this is the Edmund. Usually a shark hangs out around here. Oh well, we can just go in here. So, the Edmund is interesting. It's a very large pirate ship that has a lot of levels, and it's very confusing to navigate, especially when you don't quite have the gear for it and you're trying to navigate it. It can be pretty tough. But in Everblue 1, the part of the game that made me give up playing it was when... So there comes a time in Everblue 1 where you have to get like 3 MacGuffins, and they're all in a pirate ship. Not this one, a different one. And because of the emulation having an error, you don't really get a true map. You don't get a map screen like this. You get a map screen, but you don't get like the rooms and stuff. So you basically get almost no information, and it's way bigger than the Edmund is, I'm pretty sure. You can start at level 3 here. Yeah, you could just start here. So this is where you usually start in the Edmund before you like get the other places unlocked by finding other exits and stuff. Actually, it might be the other way. I don't know. I forget. You can go outside and try again. But the pirate ship you have to go through in Everblue 1 is absolutely gargantuan. You don't have the gear for it, and you're kind of expected to go through it anyways and find this artifact. And oh boy, there's like a cargo hold, and it's so fucking confusing and so anxiety-inducing that I just gave up. I couldn't do it. I kept running out of air, running out of like carry space in my bag, trying to move like crates and barrels and shit that blocks your way. And so I gave up because it was too fucking much. So I do think this pirate ship is far and above an improvement over the other one. But yeah, this is like the captain's quarters. So that creature right there, this is another one of the enemies that will cause poison to you. It's a sea snake. Sea snakes would not like ever be living in a pirate ship in a fucking super deep part of the ocean. That's inaccurate, but that's okay. Also, we still got attacked by it anyways. So we can just kind of leave again. And go to the other level. So there's level 5, and there's level 6. We're just gonna just go to level 6. So level 6 is the bowels of the ship, basically. You get this stone angel statue here. Get a bunch of stuff that you can give people. You would give this to JJ. You would give musical. You would give this to Marco. You would give this to the pirate guy. Yeah, now we're in the red because most of our HP is gone. We'll have to leave. So that's what happens when your HP runs too low. If it gets below a third, the screen will start flashing red and making warning sounds. But we can fix this. We can go. Actually, let's appraise. Barbecue grill, cool. Can go and heal. And now let's see. Where else? Oh. The Sombra. So the Sombra is Seedross's sunken, it's their sunken, submarine. This is, I think maybe... So... If Teospolis or Teospolis or whatever is the most confusing area, followed behind the Balena, this is perhaps one of the more intense part of the game, at least story-wise, because you actually have to do like a Super Metroid escape sequence from the Sombra, because the ocean is getting like too intense due to how upset the artifact, the Erebos, is getting. So there becomes a countdown timer on the clock, and you have to make your way through this maze of a thing, and you gotta like go through all this bullshit. And I don't like I don't like this. I don't like this area. And it can be pretty daunting. Actually, how do I leave? Oh, it's from this area. It's one of those games that's just weird. Yeah, it does a lot of things that you don't really expect or don't really even know what to expect from it. This JRPG anime shit, yeah, like, yeah, it's literally like a fucking Final Fantasy ass sequence where you have to fucking like you basically like you've angered like the ocean, and you have to go escape or whatever, so you can get the MacGuffin. It even looks kind of like a Final Fantasy type artifact, the Erebos. It's a pink crystal. It's a pink crystal. We can just... I don't like this, so I'm just gonna go... I'm just gonna send, and we're gonna go to Teospolis. Can actually, let's park just a little bit outside Teospolis. And it's a diving sim, yeah. There's not very much of those to begin with, and the fact that it tries to do all this ambitious shit with its story is kind of interesting. So you're probably wondering why I was moving there for a moment. That's because there's a strong current in this area. That pushes you like away. So you go really slow trying to get to Teospolis. But we're almost there. There's a footfish. There's one of Arika's OCs. Here it is. Here's Teospolis. Now if I can just find the fucking entrance. I don't think it's this way. Come on, come on. Move! Probably should have just entered it normally. Okay, here we go, here we go. Stone pillar. So this is the final frontier of this game, and this is also where most of my salvaging still needs to be done. But probably I won't do because Teospolis is, like I said, a hell maze. It is where the game becomes the Kaizo game. So it's also required to go through this as the final boss, in quotes, of the game. You have to go through the entirety of Teospolis, and put the Erebos back to its rightful place. And it requires navigating a maze that was very difficult to navigate. Also, you might be wondering, what is that sound? It's because I'm trying to pull up a map, and there is no map for this location. There's also no option to ascend unless you exit from the entrance. So it's when you enter this and when you decide that you're gonna go forward and go through this place to like get all of the stuffs in it, you're basically making a huge investment into your time and HP and stuff. Because there is hostile creatures in here. There is specifically gulper sharks who will attack you, which you can just use like the sonar to get them to go away. But still, and you'll very easily become lost. So I've gotten all of these statues here because all of these are around the entrance area. But there is a point where, like, if you go through this and then you go down here, this is the gauntlet. You go down here, you're gonna be like lost. Also, there's this. There's a cool little phoenix sculpture here. So yeah, we're not gonna go down there. Or maybe we will. I don't know. Let's you know, we can always just reset the game because I haven't really done anything worth saving. So yeah, going down these stairs to the next level, and then going down these stairs more, we enter the next level, and this is where Teospolis opens up to the true nightmare that it is. Most of Teospolis is going through areas like that. It's spamming the sonar to keep the sharks away, and then hoping that you can happen across the artifacts that you want, because there is no map. You just have to have a good sense of direction and a prayer. So this is a statue of a bird. Looks kind of like a plane. Might even be a statue of a plane, actually. It also looks like a bird. I don't know. God, that scared me. Look at that little fella. So yeah, we're not gonna. I don't want to get lost in the anxiety maze. So I joke, but this shit is actually really fucking scary to me. Same thing goes for Endless Ocean. I can't really stand going to the abyss in Endless Ocean, or Endless Ocean 2 for that matter, or any time where the game is just you swimming in a void of blue or black without seeing like anything around you besides like a large animal or animals. Or when the game, you know, has like dark corridors and fucking hell, and then you have like fish jump scare. It's genuinely quite terrifying to me. But Endless Ocean 1 and 2 are fantastic games, and I also joked about it before, but they are a huge portion of my childhood. I spent probably like, I don't know, 5 hours playing Endless Ocean 1 the first time I ever booted it up on the Wii. And it was phenomenal. I didn't expect uh, a game like that to even like exist. Really, I guess I didn't really think that a diving sim game would exist like that. Here's a cool dragon, which this dragon kind of looks like some other kind of dragon. It's got like two nubby horns on its head, and is bipedal, and has like 3 claws, and no fork at its tail, and normally looks orange. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it does look a lot like a Charizard. Okay, now how the fuck do I get out of here? I think I'm close to the entrance. No. Which way? Which way? I think it's this way. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Alright. So that's most of the game right there. It's mostly just swimming around and seeing shit. There is some like, I guess we could go, I don't know. We can go over here. There is some like landmarks. And also like some hostile fish that will show up sometimes. There's sea urchins. Those guys also don't really appear in the Endless Ocean games. So I think, if I recall, there's like some structures over here. I'm just gonna avoid that. Okay. I think it was over here. Some tuna. There's also an awful lot of fish that will swim like just out of your view because of the problem of having the camera constantly pointed downward. So yeah, if you wonder why that thing just turned around, it's because I'm using the creature away sonar. Could have swore there was like some structures over here. Dolphin. Come on. Yeah, here we go. I was right. So these are artificial reef structures intended for like reef stuff to grow on it. And they also act as like wave crasher thingies. But yeah, this is like some landmark shit. So there is some interesting stuff outside of the main locations, but it's pretty few and far between. There's an octopus, look at him go. Look at him go. Okay, we can just like ascend. So let me think. What else is there? There's a stray dog named Hecko. Yirsa. This is Leo's hotel. You can... So, when you first unlock this area in the story, there's a for sale here, and it's an empty plot. But you can eventually purchase this plot and turn it into your own hotel. And it makes money for you. And you can rest there for free. So that's pretty sweet. Oh, there's also this. So, when I said that Teospolis was the final frontier, that's not really true. The true final frontier is in the post-game after the story is over and the Erebos has been returned to Teospolis. It is this well. And it is a challenge. You don't have to do this, but it is a challenge where if you follow this well through an undersea cave, you can get to a nice little reef and photograph, I think, a Nassau grouper. And the only place in the whole game that Nassau groupers can be is in this one little reef that you can only reach if you follow this well. Well, I will dive in this well and we will see what it's like to go down the well. This is one of the most absolutely fucking terrifying. Christ. This... Time for high octane horse. Yeah, I'm not... Oh, God. I'm not gonna really do this whole challenge because it takes like about 3 to 5 minutes to actually go all the way down this well and go up to the reef. But this is itself a maze, and I could only do this because of the wonderful walkthrough and guide made by Kai Sharku in 2004 for this game, who gives like a specific... I have it pulled up here. I can... Gives like a specific informations on how to go through the well. Yeah, here we go. So, according to Kai Sharku's guide on GameFAQs, around 125 meters down, another tunnel appears to the side. Ignore it. It leads to a dead-end chamber. So there is dead ends in this fucking thing. And you don't have... So in order to unlock the unlimited rebreather, if I recall, you have to beat this. So it is worth beating. Since it makes, you know, you can go back to other locations no matter the depth and not worry about like air and shit so much. It's a maze, and it can be really tough because you only have a limited amount of air, so if you get lost, you can just fucking die. At 240 meters or so, the tunnels open into a very large chamber. And it's so terrifying, dude. It's so scary. Kai Sharku says, head down and search the floor of the chamber for another opening. At this point, you'll be approximately 250 meters deep, and without the dolphin suit, you'll begin losing health at an astounding rate. So you have to have the dolphin suit on if you want to do this challenge. Go into this new tunnel, follow it for a while, or, well, actually, you can, so I haven't used them at all here, but you do have... Not this. You don't have this. You have these mega aids and shit. These will recover your health. So you could just keep pausing the game and keep spamming mega aids. Am I going up or I'm going down? I want to go up. So you can keep spamming mega aids. I'm not lost on how that sounds like. You can use mega aids to your advantage, and that can help you if you don't have the dolphin suit, but you want to have the dolphin suit to do this. Anyways, continuing on with the guide, there's another false tunnel. Yeah, you'll come across another tunnel. Again, this leads to a dead-end chamber. So yeah, at 289, there's another fake tunnel that you want to ignore. And then at 380 meters, you'll have another intersection. And you just gotta hope that it's correct, because the guide's a little vague at like which tunnel you want to go to at this point. And then finally shit starts rising again. The lowest you get, really, is 312 meters. And then it starts going back up, and eventually you'll hopefully emerge in the sacred reef. And you'll complete the challenge. But yeah, this thing is so goddamn fucking terrifying. And there's no enemies in this part of the game. There's like no enemies. It's literally there every so often there's like one fish that will jump scare you if you're already anxious. But there's like one or two fish that are just hanging out. And the whole challenge is just navigating this dark, pitch black piece of shit. And it's so scary, but the payoff is you get infinite, like, air, which is good. Cool. And then what other things? So I did talk about the combining stuff. So we do have some stuff in our storage. This is poison. It's mercury. And we can combine it with the killer spider to get Scorpion's tail. Why would you ever take poison? I don't know. I forget if it's used for anything, actually. I think it is, but I don't really remember. You can also get water, deep sea water, and you can combine it to get. You can combine these waters to get better mega aids. This is the guy who wants to see photos of fish. Oh, and here's the aquarium. This is like, I think, pretty much the last thing. Cause yeah, it's just the sea dress guy. She doesn't really have anything to say. So, this is something that Arika would expand upon, just like a lot of the ideas in this game. So this is the aquarium. It's very limited. It is a concrete box with no apparent entrance or exit. You just live here now. Though of course you can exit as you can enter. There's just a couple of stone, like, moai heads and Stonehenge. And you can exchange the creatures. You can have up to 10 creatures at any one time. You can put just whomever in here. Let's actually get some of the inaccurate fish in here, so we can get a nice look at them. Come on, where are they? Pulper shark, hammerhead ray, footfish. Where is viperfish? I don't know, sure, get ribbon fish in there, even though the oarfish looks fine. Sure, we can see the Nassau grouper too. Oh, I didn't mean to put it away. Oh, I accidentally... Who did I delete? Deleted the hammerhead ray, shit. Oh, we can get moray eel and sea snake. Do we have to just load it up with 10 exactly? Oh. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I just had to press triangle. Okay, so here's the fishes. This is a hammerhead ray. So what they look like a... They have like a long, flowy, like... ray tail that doesn't really look like... So it has the body of a manta ray, a head that resembles a hammerhead shark, a long flowy tail that looks kind of sort of like a cowtail ray's tail, but not quite. Just has like a diamond on it, I guess. Here's the very inaccurate frilled shark that has just this weird fucking body. Like the rest of its like its tail is pretty okay, but the fins here are its dorsal fin should be way farther back and way smaller, and its front fins should also like not be so triangular or whatever. And there's so many things wrong with this guy. I don't even know where to start. So viperfish are not buck-toothed goobers who have these little flappy ear fins. They're these tiny little fellas that have great big choppers made out of needle teeth, and their fins are not organized like that on their body at all. So I don't... Oh, I do remember putting this guy in here. Also, these guys don't quite look like this either. The glass sea slug, the sea angel. Now this creature, the oarfish, that's pretty accurate actually. It's like pogging. It's not... Actually, it's not that accurate because these guys don't like pog when they swim. This is what they look like when they're dead. Or whatever. Which makes sense, because most of the reference photos for these guys are washed up ones. But yeah, they wouldn't have their jaws extended like that perpetually. Some moray eel. These little fellows do not swim around everywhere and like chitter, really. They like hiding. Which, you know, I'm criticizing a lot of the inaccuracies in the behavior and looks of the creatures in this game, but all of this shit got rectified in Endless Ocean pretty much. Like the hammerhead ray and the footfish, this other fish that doesn't exist, which is like a... I don't know, like a fang tooth or whatever, like an anglerfish that's fused with a sea robin that sea robins have these little modified fins that can crawl on the seafloor. Like, this guy doesn't exist. And this is the only game this guy and these guys, these hammerhead rays appear in. I'm very surprised Arika didn't like add these guys as like special rare creatures in any of the Endless Ocean games, because you think they would do that maybe, but they didn't. so they're just forgotten. But yeah, so that's the little limited aquarium mode. It's not much. In Endless Ocean 2, they upgraded it to look like an actual aquarium. And sorry, Endless Ocean 2, I meant Endless Ocean 1, they upgraded it to look more like an actual aquarium with like sky instead of just a box full of water. And then in Endless Ocean 2, they had basically an entire character whose bit is that she works at an aquarium and she's like an ocean researcher, and you can customize parts of your aquarium shit. It's super in-depth. But yeah, so if you know Endless Ocean games, you could probably see how a lot of the stuff in this game later went on to be improved upon and iterated upon, and so on and so forth. Also, you could do free cam here if you just want to like swim like that, or you can just have a automatic camera that follows your favorite fish. So that's this game basically. It's pretty neat. I'm trying to think. I think that's everything. Pretty sure. Oh, I guess this is our key items, I guess. Not like it matters at this point in the game. We have the guiding gem, which is a key that we want to use in Teospolis, but I haven't gotten to because Teospolis is hell. And then we have the pirate crest, which we get from the pirate ship. Also have dive logs and stuff. This is basically like what our best dive was ever. And this is just your little manual or whatever. Guide album. Maps and stuff. We also have these fins. So that's from Johan. And luxury fins. The only one bag. So, oh, this is alright. So I was correct in my memory of salvaging the vehicles from the ferry. So the only one bag is a special gear that can carry any single item for unlimited weight. So to salvage absolutely gargantuan pieces of things, like for example that plane that we saw at Teospolis, you would want to equip the only one bag, and your goal would simply be to pick up that one item. And it also works on the cars too. And then we have various gadgets. This one, the power glove, decreases HP lost when an item is obtained by 50%. We have an accelerator, which can let you zoom faster. This increases your HP. This suppresses air consumption by 50%. Basically, completely obsolete once you get the infinite rebreather. Could increase the maximum insulated depth to 20 meters. So increases HP recovery by ×2 when stopped. So yeah, just a lot of little bits and bobs. I don't don't know really what this does, aside from giving you a greater chance to find rare items, I think, is the good luck charm. Because remember, all of the items to salvage, all of the items you salvage while you're just like out in the ocean, it's all random. I mean, you do have some like areas that have a higher probability of getting some items. Like if you're around Valentinier here, you'll find a lot of spheres, a lot of marbles and stuff. And then as you go out to the depths, or over in, say, this location, you'll start fighting treasure chests as some of the rare items. But it's all random. Oh, I got the Zeldathon server map, which will likely throw on a server soon, so it'll be up again. Oh, did it go down? I guess nobody had played it for a while, huh? I think I might have been one of the last people playing on that, because I remember building that Pokemon Center build and like seeing absolutely nobody on. And I did that for maybe 2 weeks after like it's super died down. And then once I got the center like pretty much built, I stopped playing. But still, that's cool. If only people's interest in Minecraft didn't seem to like go from 0 to 100 so fast, but I guess that's what you get when you have a game that's so widely played and also so old. People just kind of go through stints of playing it for like 2 weeks and then stopping. It was cool though. But yeah, I want to say that's everything. I think. This is the Rocky Reef, by the way. When you go down the well, you end up here. The only way you can get here is through the well. That also gets you the final stone marker. So yeah, well, I guess I could save, sure. Yay. Okay. Okay, just gonna end on that final frame like that? Okay. Well that was Everblue 2. So yeah, very interesting, I think. At least for somebody who has, maybe not for like 99% of people, but for somebody who played a lot of the Endless Ocean games growing up. I played a lot of the Endless Ocean games, I should say. I think it's an interesting look at what came before. And the only way I even managed to know this game existed was I was bored one day looking up Endless Ocean shit, and I remembered seeing way back when I was like still interested in Endless Ocean, still like super hyped over the idea that it might be getting a third game in the series on the Wii U, which fucking imagine. God, that was a long time ago. I remember discovering the Everblue series, but there wasn't a whole lot of information about it online. So I was just like, okay, I guess Arika developed something on the PS2 that was like Endless Ocean, and that was it. But then many years later, I think, what was it, 2019? I can't remember what the save file said before I started it today. I think it was, maybe it was 2021. That sounds about right. is when I found a copy of Everblue 2 just sitting on a shelf at a old retro game store that I frequented. And I was like, of course I'm gonna buy that. So yeah. And overall, like, even though this game got middling review scores, and from what I played of it, it may seem kind of boring because it is a little bit. I still think it's a pretty good game. And a very unintentionally scary game, especially. But a pretty good game for what it was. It's kind of strangely ambitious about its story and how it goes about doing that. This epic fucking plot of like, you're Leonardo and you and your friend who is also like some guy that your dad used to work with who were salvagers, and then your dad like discovered an ancient artifact in a temple, and he went to go like return it or something, but then he died on his way back to his home planet or whatever. And that like spurred you, the character Leonardo, to become a diver. And I don't know, there's like the whole, most of the backstory of Leonardo is kind of like whatever. It's mostly explored in the first game, where you're trying to finish the work that your dad started. Then in the second game, it's kind of disconnected, which I guess works in its favor because, like I said, this game got released in the US. It got released basically worldwide in quotes, which I mean, when I say that, this was a PS2 game and it got released in Japan, PAL regions in the US. Might as well have been worldwide back in that day. Or close enough to worldwide. Which is a bit different to the first game in the series, which only got released in PAL in Japan. But the fact that the game's story is so self-contained and not really predicated on much that isn't already kind of summarized within Everblue 2's plot, you're not really missing much if you don't play the first game. And I think the first game, emulation issues aside, even without the emulation issues and the lack of a functioning map due to said emulation issues, I still think the pirate ship is horrible. It's so horrible compared to even Everblue 2's Teospolis or the Well, even though the Well is pretty, it's pretty close to being perhaps one of the most horrible experiences I've ever gone through in a video game. Just due to how it's just nothing. It's just a black void. Oh, it's so scary. Black underwater void, no less. If it was above water, that's not that bad, but underwater, it gets real scary. But yeah, it's pretty interesting seeing. There's like a lot of characters. So another thing I ought to mention as in my closing thoughts of this is that all of these characters, Ellis, Zuko, green-haired Marco, JJ, Poet Dude, all of these characters are also only in, well, Zuko and the main character Leonardo are in Everblue 1, and so is the camera lady, but they don't appear in the Endless Ocean games. The Endless Ocean games, despite being successors to Everblue 1 and 2, basically don't reference near anything from Everblue 1 and 2. None of the characters reference, say for example, the Amigos or Cedros, as far as I remember. I don't remember them ever talking about Cedros. Jean, whatever his name is. I don't remember I don't remember most of the characters' names, uh, aside from Kat from Endless Ocean 1. She's the only other character in Endless Ocean 1, aside from her dad, who is also implied to have died in a legendary ocean artifact accident with him trying to pursue this legendary white whale called the Ancient Mother, and he dies or something. Cat's like the only other character in Endless Ocean 1, but then in Endless Ocean 2, it's a lot more ambitious and you have a whole cast, and all I really remember is like captain guy whose name is like Jean something, and his daughter Oceana, and Gigi, the best character in the game. He's the salvage dude, and he's awesome and cool. And then I remember the salvage lady who buys your stuff, who I don't remember her name, and then I remember the marine researcher lady whose name I also don't remember. But yeah, none of them, as far as I know, are related to or have anything to do with the characters in Everblue 1 and 2. But I do still wonder, considering the fictional locations in real-world places, if they would still take place in the same universe. I don't know. Still, it's putting that aside, it's still interesting to see where Arika started with their little diving sim series. And I think there might still be hope for a future diving sim game by them that isn't mobile game level slop almost. I don't want to call it slop. But here's my hot take on Endless Ocean Luminous. So the most recent Endless Ocean game came out in 2024, believe it or not, after a I don't know, over 10-year hiatus. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Actually, more than 20-year hiatus, right? No. 15-year, I don't know. It was a while ago. There was no Endless Ocean after... I can just fucking look it up. Endless Ocean 2. Let's see how long ago it really was. September 2009. So 2018 would have been 10 years. Then 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. So after 16 years, Arika finally releases another entry in the Endless Ocean franchise. And it's hardly an Endless Ocean game at all compared to what we got before. You get only one character, and he's some diver dude who doesn't even have a face. None of the characters have faces. They're just divers. They live and breathe the ocean, I guess. Oh, and an AI voice PDA or whatever, who just she has almost no personality. It's an online multiplayer cooperative game where you cooperate with players to uncover a randomly generated map that is modular. So it randomly generates modules of maps in different arrangements, and randomly generates an assortment of creatures for those map modules. And it's a fun game, I would say. But it does not have the depth or the anything. It has, you can scan creatures, you can swim, and you can salvage. That's it. That's all you can do in Endless Ocean Luminous. They shaved all the other things that people like the Endless Ocean games away. Which sucks, because, yeah... Like I was never like super into the characters. I always liked the diving aspect more. Just the premise of the game itself was interesting to me. But the characters were nice. They gave it a nice grounded realism that Endless Ocean Luminous, I guess, thought was not necessary and could be replaced with just online multiplayer people swimming around scanning fish. Um, that you can barely like interact with really, besides using emotes that nobody uses or using stickers that some people use sometimes, maybe. uh so yeah, it's huge fucking downgrade. I still think it's a fun game and I still bought it. uh like I have a physical copy. I had to hunt for a physical copy of this game when it came out. And I had to like take the bus an hour away to a GameStop because it was the only GameStop in the area that had gotten any physical copies of the game. And the only reason they had a physical copy that they could sell me is because somebody canceled their pre-order. So yeah, I guess I have a rare physical copy of a Switch game now. It's not the best Switch game in the world, but it's a Switch game that probably doesn't have a lot of physical copies of it. Um, but yeah, so ultimately, though, what I'm hoping with, like, when I think about what I want for the future of, I should, when I think of what I want, I'm trying to figure out the best way to summarize this. What I think I want for the future of the Endless Ocean series is hopefully this is going to be like a Banana Blitz scenario. Like Monkey Ball Banana Blitz was a, I'm not going to say shitty, a questionable port of the Monkey Ball for Wii game. And Sega basically was like, if this game doesn't sell well, we'll never make another Monkey Ball again, so you you fuckers better buy it. And then I guess people bought it, and then Banana Rumble happened, and I watched Vinny play it, and it seems to be a pretty good Monkey Ball game. So I'm hoping maybe Everblue, or not Everblue 2. Shit. I'm hoping Everblue 3 will come out. No, I don't expect Everblue 3 to ever come out. No, I'm hoping Endless Ocean Luminous like does maybe just enough numbers that at the very least Arika will see it fit to like remaster the Endless Ocean games, or even fucking better, make a brand new one. So yeah, that's what I hope. That's what I hope. But yeah, that was my summary of my opinions on Everblue 1 and 2 and my opinions on Endless Ocean and the state of the Endless Ocean franchise. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just glad I managed to actually show off this game, and I hope you all enjoyed. And I'm glad that Arca did something with this franchise, and I'm hoping they'll do more with it, or maybe they'll just make Tetris 300 billion or something, or mobile games, because they also do a lot of those. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Next stream will be more yicking. We will not stop until it is done. We still have because we're playing Yick 2 now. We have, according to what that one person in chat said, we have maybe 6 hours more of yicking to do. So I guess we'll do that next stream. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you next time for more Y2K Postmodern RPG. So, bye.